Ladies and gentlemen, we're live and direct from the mothership. Well, from two different motherships. We're not in the same mothership, even though we
I wouldn't
possibly
even
could be.
consider this a mothership. This.
I don't know. It looks like the ideal bomb shelter. It looks like where a conspiracy
From the mothership's
podcast.
cupboard.
It does look like. It looks like the sort of place where a conspiracy podcast should be broadcast from.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna get some tinfoil on the wall there behind me, just for.
Yeah, if you just wrap it in tinfoil, it couldn't be any more accurate. Maybe have a police scanner in the background, just constantly going off, feeds coming in about unnecessary stuff, and then you just like go off the conversation and start writing it down.
No, it's not even the police radio, just a taxi ranks thing.
912. That's from 3 Princess Street to 27 Bucklands Avenue. Right, write that down.
They go in there again, third time this week.
Fucking hell.
His wife's on her own. If anyone's interested.
This is truth. Well, we don't even we never one thing that I've noticed about this show, having listened back and listening to a lot of other podcasts, we do almost nothing you're meant to.
We have no format whatsoever.
There's no introduction. There's no hello audience. There's no this is truth seeking. Introduce each other. We just cut straight to the point. There's no grouping back together at the end and being like self-promotion. There's no like important news shared. No. I'd rather keep it that way, to be honest.
Yeah, we've had the time where we haven't got anything to say with stuff like this, commentary on ourselves.
Yeah, you just got to make it. We make it meta instead. This is meta podcasting. I don't know if we've taken things to a new level. But why don't you tell the people what we're covering this week?
We're going to cover weird science, bro. Fucking like shit things scientists have done. I don't like science, but
that's been established clearly.
Yeah, I don't really trust them, and I think that it's fun that lots of people do science and get nothing out of it. I think that's brilliant. I think there's little better to read about than someone who's dedicated their whole life to trying to work something out. And then all that's happened is they've got to the end of it and they've just drove themselves mental. And then no one picks up that research ever again afterwards as well.
You're right. I like the equal opposite as well. So I like someone who's done that and gone out of their way to try and crack something that's groundbreaking that they never actually get to see the fruits of. And I'm going to come back to that in a minute because it's an interesting one. But I like the equal opposite, and that's when someone like gets something, but they dedicate their lives to perfecting something that's really shit.
Yeah, that are completely unnecessary.
Yeah,
like I read before, I like about an hour ago, 20 minutes ago, I don't know. I'm going to apologise actually to the audience because I've got really bad toothache and I've been eating painkillers like the Skittles.
It's going to be a great
if I sound
episode.
A little bit slow or I just randomly either zone out or
doze off.
Yes, fall asleep, then I can only apologise, guys. I've even changed the little light in the room to more of like a duller light. So it's not, because the bright light was a bit too much and I couldn't hack it. So
Getting all opium then. You need like a little chaise lounge or something in there that you can just relax on.
Are you mental? I don't have the shape in here for the space for the chaise lounge. I don't even know how to pronounce the fucking thing.
You'd have to go with like a poof instead, a poofy.
Keeping the poof in the cupboard. Without the fucking SJWs be going mental, mate.
I had this coming back to something. I did have a point. I definitely had it. Yeah, this is the first episode where you're the one who's fucked. Let's be honest, there's a track record, and it's not just through this show, it's just throughout, well, people who know me. Like, I tend to be the one that's intoxicated in some sort of, like, well, in most situations. And this appears to be the one where I've come in, I've got a nice bottle of water, nice fresh faced. I've just had a wrap that had salad in it. Fucking salad. Not even good salad, just boring plain salad. And you look off your tits.
Lovely.
It's fantastic.
That's a nice image for everyone.
How the turns
I'm probably going to sound it as well. Probably going to sound it.
It's great content. So
Buzzing.
we're not clutching at straws. We haven't ran out of topics to talk about. The topic of weird science.
Well, we can kick it off with some scientists that were clutching at straws.
No, hang on.
Go on.
You mentioned people who never get to see their like their tests come to light, or they never get to see the benefit of their research. There was a bloke tar test, liquid. Where is it? Yeah, have you heard of the pitch drop experiment?
Is it something to do with like throwing fire bombs or something? I would have thought like pitch was used for making like fucking incendiary devices, wasn't it, supposedly?
Well, it's used for.
Yeah,
This is it's not to do with that at all. No, basically to cut
okay.
you off. Although it is pitch that you're thinking of. The pitch drop experiment. I'm going to read the first paragraph of the Wikipedia article just to get it accurate, because you don't want to hear me explain it in the way that I was going to. A pitch drop experiment is a long-term experiment which measures the flow of a piece of pitch over many years. Pitch is the name for any number of highly viscous liquids which appear solid, most commonly bitumen. At room temperature, tar pitch flows at a very low rate, taking several years to form a single drop. Basically, the pitch drop test was started by Professor Thomas Parnell of the University of Queensland in Brisbane, Australia, and he wanted to prove that pitch was in fact a liquid and not a solid.
Like old church windows. They're not actually a solid. Old antiquated church windows are actually still liquid.
Really?
Yeah, they're thicker at the bottom than they are at the top.
Because it's flowed down over the years.
Yeah, it's just such a dense liquid.
Wow.
It's never truly set. I don't think it was until, again, I think the 1800s where they started to figure out how to make it properly set. Don't know what they added into it.
I have no idea. What was it made of to start with?
Fuck knows. Glass blows my mind anyway, mate. Glass blows.
Do you know what? I thought it was intentional. I thought it was intentional, but it weren't, was it?
Nah, but I heard it as it was coming out and thought...
Yeah,
oh,
no, you heard it
that
the
was
same
quite
time as
nice.
I did.
Yeah.
and then went,
But it
oh
does
shit,
though,
I did it funny.
like fucking sand and that, mate. You can make fucking just use it for heat up sand
It's
and
insane.
you're there with glass. Yeah, like, it's
Absolutely
mental. But that's
insane.
science. That's weird science that worked.
That's true, but this bloke, he set up a test to demonstrate that tar or pitch was in fact a liquid, and it was essentially like a bit of an hourglass situation. He poured a load in the top, and then left it. And where has he got the drops? So they let it settle for 3 years, and then they cut the neck of the funnel so it could start flowing. And throughout the drops, like, he missed every single one.
Oh, good. Like when I always want to see the zero come up on my mileage in my car.
It started in
It's the same.
Yeah, it started in 1927, and the 8th drop fell on the 28th of November 2000. So yeah, in 73 years, it only dropped 8 drops. There were several times when he was like almost able. I'm sure there was one time he went out of the room to make a cup of coffee or something that ridiculous. Came back and it had dropped. But he missed.
But I think he'd be
every
disappointed if he
single
did
one.
see them all as well, because you're going to get to a point after 73 years where you're like, well, I've spent 73 years here watching this drip 8 times, and that's all I've done with my life. Like, imagine how depressing that is. I would say imagine how his wife felt, but I'm going to presume he didn't have one.
I haven't
Unless
looked
he
into
did, and this was his escape from it.
Look, I've got to go and watch. How long are you going to be? It could be forever. I mean, this is groundbreaking science. Perhaps that's what it is, right? I've got some theories towards weird science. That could be one, that they're just literally thinking of whatever reason they can to get out of the house and be like, I can't bear it. I've got to think of something that's going to take a lot of time. I can't think of something that anyone's done before, because then they're going to be like, well, that doesn't take very long. Such and such did it in like 6 weeks. And you'll be like, oh, fuck's sake.
Well, what if he also invented slow drying paint?
Ooh. That's now that is a market, especially in the days of peak capitalism, which I'd say we've reached now. Like, instead of making the best of something, there's an opportunity now for companies to bring out like purposeful bad versions of things, and people will buy it ironically, and then people will start buying it unironically. Slow drying paint. Yeah, wet flour.
Wet flour.
Just sell people bags of wet flour. Yep. sugar that's got about 5 teaspoons of like coffee that's been caught in the teaspoon, then you've put it back in the sugar, and it comes preloaded with that in. What else? Smoked fags, half-smoked cigarettes.
Oh, there used to be a girl at our primary school that used to get about picking cig dimps up off the floor and spark 'em. It's fucking hanging.
Yeah, well, that was quite common at my school, so I used to watch people do that.
Oh, mate, she was about 9, 10. It was fucking just seemed like there was something going on at home.
Do you keep in touch with her? I wonder what she's doing now.
No.
Prosperous.
Well, yeah, she might have just been collecting the cotton.
Maybe she's made an absolute fortune from tab ends over these years, and we're making fun of her, and she's that fucking millionaire. She's retired early just from making cigarettes and
filters for rollies.
She remakes cigarettes out of them and sells them on.
Ooh, maybe she does. Who knows?
Weird science. The other So first one was obviously getting out of the house. Second one, have you noticed when doing if you did do any sort of research for this, that a lot of the nasty cunts, a lot of like the horrible experimentation that went on involved syphilis, or the transmission of syphilis?
What, like the Tuskegee university thing?
Unit 731 in Japan, tests in the concentration camps in Germany. Loads of them involved the transmission and like experimentation involving syphilis. And I reckon like there was just a lot of evil blokes that had been shagging about, and they just needed to get rid of syphilis, and they were willing to, instead of just admit to their wives, look, our uniforms are designed by Hugo Boss, I'm looking suave, like people don't want me to gas them alive, so I've got women throwing themselves at us, I've caught the clap, I'm sorry.
So that I don't end up shagging all these other women, so you can trust me.
But instead of just admitting to their wife, look, I've got syphilis, they've just stayed away and they've gone, right, I'm willing to kill as many Japanese people as this takes. I need to not have syphilis. Let's sort this out right now. I'm willing to inject them. I'm willing to get people who are infected. I'm willing to allow them to assault and rape other prisoners. I'm willing to have guards infect prisoners. Anything so I can just clear this up.
Maybe. I think it's going to be to do with like genetic manipulation, because it's hereditary. So if you can maybe you've got syphilis, but it's a certain type of syphilis. So syphilis that for some reason makes you grow taller, if it exists, or they manage to take the syphilis illness and inject something into it that changes the person who gets it to be like, oh, we want more gingers for whatever reason, and they're like, let's make some of them. That's controversial. We've not done that one yet. And they find a way to do that, and they pass it on by that through the syphilis gene or the syphilis virus or whatever it is.
But couldn't you find a better way of doing that instead of infecting everyone with a virus to do that? A virus that like, hey, you've got all these superpowers and stuff, and you've got all these benefits, but you're stuck with this horrible STD for life, and you're going to pass it on to everyone else as well.
Yeah, but that means then, just in case that if it does give the people superpowers, maybe it's a control method, because then the other people find out like, oh, they've got syphilis. I don't want to fuck them then, because I'm going to end up with it, even with a Johnny or no, with one of them plastic rags. You do very rarely see superheroes banging, unless like you watch like the parody porns on fucking Pornhub and that. Like, you don't very, like, I know most of the Marvel films aren't 18, you're not going to, but, like, that would explain if they were all infected from birth. Maybe that's something they don't tell you in the Marvel universe, in the DC universe, that, unfortunately, to have superpowers, you must also be not able to book at all. Or at least if you do. You've got to really, like, sneak up on them with it. You can't be too open with them, kind of thing. I'm not saying like I'm not saying like Batman goes around raping in his spare time. I mean, like he's got to be very. Well, maybe that's why they hide the face. Maybe everybody knows Bruce Wayne's got fucking syphilis, and he's like, well, I'm not having this. They won't recognise me by my chin. I'll cover up everything but my chin. I've got a good chin, strong chin, superhero jaw. They'll pull the women. They like a man in uniform. I've made my own. And then he goes around spreading syphilis. turning everyone into. Well, he's not even really a fucking superhero.
He's not. I was going to say you've named the one that's a human that's probably most susceptible to syphilis, if we're honest.
Well, maybe Batman is catching syphilis from other superheroes. Maybe that's why he hangs around with him. He's hoping that they might try it on with him one night. You know, they're all there with enjoying a few drinks, enjoying a few capfuls of jeebs, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, whoopsie daisy. I've had a swig out the big bottle of jeebs. What are you gonna do, Clark? And Clark's looking at him like, you're a fucking weirdo, mate. You fucking
Go home.
fucking.
I know your mum and dad are dead, but fucking hell, right? It was a while ago. You can chill out now. Jesus Christ!
You need to really get over this one, lad. This is fucking terrifying.
Will you just stop bringing him, Catwoman? Because to be honest, he saps the crack from the party. And,
he really would, though, wouldn't he? And you know he's a grass as well. He's always in with the police.
He's in with the coppers. He's just a fucking. He's rich as fuck. Like, you should hate Batman, really. Really.
What if that was just a way to glorify rich people? So people would be like, "Oh, rich people are doing us good." What if that's the big conspiracy around superheroes? Try and make you like
Batman,
the rich.
That Batman was invented to give the rich a better image.
Yeah.
Look at
us. To
us.
make it look like the rich are doing good things behind the scenes.
We can be human too, but we are also superheroes. Look at us. We're human. Our mum and dad's got killed. Oh no! But we're also better than you.
We could think of.
Yeah, in it. Yeah, kill the parents.
You want to make everybody like us. Yeah. Orphans, everyone loves orphans.
No, they don't, because that's another experiment I was literally watching a video about before we came on here, and that was so I think it was called the Monsters Experiment, and it was carried out on orphans, telling some that they had a stutter, and that it was only going to ever get worse, and then telling others that, like, no, you're fine, you haven't got a stutter, and you're gonna grow out of it, etc. It went into a little bit more detail, but basically fucked up a shitload of orphans.
I imagine that would. Imagine being told you've got a stutter, though, and you know you haven't, and you can't hear it, so you think everything you're saying everyone else hears differently.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
But also, there was no sort of... Usually after experiments, you've got a period of... debriefing and like sort of care afterwards and monitoring afterwards. None of that. No, it's all right. Kids, off you go.
Yeah, go into the world and spread what you've learned.
You know how we just told you for years something that wasn't true. Just think that about everyone else, and you'll get on fine. Off you go. See you later.
Yeah, that's the world we've prepared you. Perfectly prepared you, which is awful.
Yeah,
really, isn't it? Like that's. It's not that bad of a thing to do to someone to be like, oh, you've got a stutter. I mean, it is if they've got a stutter and you're taking the piss like all the time and they're not your mate, or like your cousin or something. But like to tell a random kid, oh, you've got a stammer, and to keep repeating it as well, like that's taking the piss in itself.
I'm gonna get the actual things up for it. Monsters Experiment stutter.
Well, while you're looking into that, I found this before. It's I've got it written down here because I didn't think I'd be able to remember that much today. In 1955, right, some psychiatrists decided to try and see if they could figure out how to see if someone's got schizophrenia. So they got the piss of about, I think it was a dozen or so, maybe a dozen or something like 15, the piss of 15 different schizophrenics, got it down into concentrated form and force-fed it to spiders with sugar, right, to see if it would affect the webs the spiders would make. To see if that would be a way that you could see if that person's got schizophrenia, because then we could feed the sugary piss to spiders to see if they make a weird shape in the web, or maybe they just write the word schizophrenic in the web or something, right? But unfortunately, that isn't what they learned. All they actually learned from it is that for at least schizophrenics piss mixed with sugar, but they're not sure because they didn't try it with normal, well, not to say normal, but they didn't try it with the piss of people without schizophrenic or without all the sugar.
Right.
All they found out was that after giving each spider a drop of the piss, the spiders would do everything they could to then stay away from the person that was trying to give them piss, and they wouldn't actually ingest the piss a second time.
So what you're saying is spiders not a fan of schizophrenic piss?
No. But that's an awful. That seems like. I mean, I don't. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I don't know a lot about schizophrenia. But to tell a, I imagine it seems quite bad to tell a schizophrenic, yeah, we're going to see if you've got a schizophrenic by feeding this spider. We've got a tarantula
Imagine
here.
if
We've
they
got
d-
this. We've
imagine,
got this rosny here. We're going to feed it your piss mixed with sugar to see if it knows if you've got schizophrenia. And then he goes
imagine,
on to tell people.
imagine,
People like,
imagine getting a phone call going, right, your schizophrenic test today, and you've known it's been coming up. Like, we talked about this last episode when I'm going onto some sort of waiting list for like an autism test or whatever, and that's like free. I've been waiting for like 3-year waiting list. Imagine you're on like a 2 or 3 year waiting list for your schizophrenia test. They're like, right, so your appointment's been booked in. It's on April the 6th, so come down then, 2:30. So you go down. You drive down. Perhaps you get the bus. Perhaps you're not trusted to drive a car. I don't know. But you get down. You check in at you go into a normal doctor's doctor surgery. You check in at reception with the usual person you check in with. You all right, Sandra? How's it going? You all right, mate? How are you? I'm doing
your
well.
way through the webs.
No. At this point, everything's sound. It's just a normal doctor's. You wait, and you go into the GP room's the one you always go in. Same one. And it's always the same. It's just a normal GP's office. But you go in this time, and he's just got a fleet of spiders just arranged on the floor, all with shot glasses in front of them. He goes, right, we're going to do your schizophrenia test.
On a plastic sheet.
They're just all dotted around the room, maybe in little nests. Small nests for different sorts of tarantulas and shit to sit in. He's got a little shot glass in front of each one with a little like sugar cube, like maybe you'd have with a tequila or something.
Yeah,
He's got a little
just
sugar cube with it. Yeah, absinthe. That's
a
what you
slice
have
of
a sugar cube
orange
with.
instead of a lime.
No, it's absinthe you have with a sugar cube, and he puts the little
Oh.
sugar cube in the shot glass, and he goes, right, I need you to piss in all the shot glasses.
As many as you can.
We're gonna do more than one test just to be sure, and then you watch a spider drink your piss, and then go, right, we're gonna go for round 2, and then you watch 8 tarantulas turn down your piss.
Well, imagine watching one spider watch another spider drink sugary piss, and then learning that spider can learn from another spider as it sees it like sort of rile in disgust at with the taste it's had, and you see the spider think,
Nah, I'm all right.
You've learned more about spiders than you've ever
yeah.
been to.
What have we learned from this? Spiders are cleverer than we thought.
Yeah.
But what we have bypassed a massive point here. Who the fuck made that connection?
I don't know. It says they were psychiatrists at Friedmatz Sanatorium and Nursing Home in Switzerland.
Were they psychiatrists or inmates?
Well, it says psychiatrists here, but it's hard to guess.
Were they given a group project to do and gone, right, while you're in here for a few years, why don't you come up with some sort of schizophrenia test? Piss spiders.
Oh no, they did have a control. They gave some of the researcher piss as well to the spiders.
What, and did the spiders drink that piss a second time?
No, they just concluded with must taste extremely unpleasant despite all the sugar that was added.
So
that's all they learned.
So they didn't drink the piss of the non-schizophrenic people a second time either.
I don't think so. It's unclear.
So all we've learned is that piss tastes bad.
Yeah, and maybe if you don't like finding spiders in your bath, maybe you should have a wee in the bath before you get
piss
out.
In your bath, just piss in your bath. Just do what you've been doing everywhere. Everyone knows. Don't worry. Everyone does it. Everyone does it. It's fine. Piss in other people's bath.
Because you've got an older and obviously listener, you've moved away from home. You've got to ring your mum afterwards and be like, "Mum, I got it up 4 tiles today."
Mum, I pissed back up the tap. See if you can get
the
it back
fireman
down.
said he's seen nothing like it.
yeah, while he was trying to prize us out. It sort of leads on to a point I was going to make. Like, who comes up with half of these experiments and why? At what sort of meeting of minds you have to go? Right, yeah, we're gonna trust a bunch of arachnids drinking urine to determine whether someone may or may not have a mental illness, and it's definitely the people who we're testing who may have the mental illness, and not in fact us who are coming up with this absolute batshit experiment while we're probably flinging our own shit at the wall and hitting ourselves in the eyes.
That's how they get their ideas. That's
Just
where the
flick it.
saying comes from: throwing up shit and it sticks. Wherever it
There's-
sticks to on the wall, that's how they come up with the
There's
methods.
words. They've just got a
Yeah.
wall full of words, and they're just fucking flinging shit at it and seeing which one lands. Yep, write it down. What's that? Velvet orphans landmines. Yep, we'll find something that matches those three. No problem at all. If we coat all orphans in velvet, are they immune to landmines? I don't know. Let's have a look.
Glide over them. It's a very smooth fabric.
I don't know. That one could have been an anomaly. Try again. I'm still not
That
sure.
one had a limp.
I'm still not sure. Try twins. It's all they love
Yeah,
that
it's
as
always
well.
twins. Yeah.
Identical twins comes up so often. Like the whole, especially during World War II, the whole but in the concentration camps in Germany and also in Unit 731, which was fucking worse. I know I've brought it up quite a few times on here, but as far as like graphic experimentation and like severe just evil, like on a ridiculous scale, I don't think I've ever read anything or read into anything or watched anything more evil than Unit 731. Like, it's the Japanese took what the Germans were doing to a next level, to the point where the Germans were coming over to Japan going, so what are you doing? Because you're fucking smashing this torture shit. We're running out of ideas and you lot are writing the playbook. And then they all
I
got
had
off
a
with
mate
it.
that used to tell me about, I think it was a Japanese form of torture. It was one of his favourite go-to things to say, which, speaking of autism before, makes me think possibly he was, because he'd bring this up a lot, was that they used to tie people to a chair and grow bamboo underneath the chair.
Yeah,
Like,
make
they'd
it grow
feed
up
them
through
and
their
water them
arse.
and not there, but yeah.
Yeah, that's
Quite sadistic.
very well. Water torture is another one. That was adopted by like Asian country. Well, I don't know if it was. I can't remember where it began, but I know it was in Asia. It was used during the World Wars, and it's literally just a drip of water on your head. Not regular. In fact, irregular, because that's worse.
And they'll do it either. There's two ways, weren't they? They'd do it either until it's sort of a dented and eroded part of your head away, or they'd do it just to try and make you go mental, and then they'd stop dropping the water at all, and you just have the sound of water dripping somewhere else in the room to try and break you mentally rather than like crack your head open. Oh, mate, speaking of cracking your head open, I found one scientist that is what he's done. He's decided that because it's really difficult to see through the human skull and fire a laser beam into the brain for specific surgeries, he's developed a thing that you can actually replace parts of the human skull with to make it transparent.
Like Perspex, like 3D print your own skull.
Yeah.
Also, just before you do carry on, because I want you
that's
to.
all I've got for that.
Well, you know how you say I get animated about whenever food's mentioned?
Yeah.
I've never seen you more animated. Considering you're on Tramadol right now, which is a heavy depressant, I've never seen you more elated than when you went talking about smashing someone's skull. If I should be doing a show on food, I think you should be perhaps be doing a show on smashing skulls. I don't know how that would. I don't know how you'd work that one out, especially legally. But
quite niche.
We've got a platform for it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, that in today's age, like, body modification's gone to the next level. People are sticking piercings in places where they've never had piercings. You get brandings. You get all sort of body modification. People are
scarification,
slitting your tongue. So you've got like a snake tongue sort of thing. I can't remember what the fucking name is. It's a bi something tongue. You've got like
double tipper.
You've got which rapper was it? Stuck a Lil Uzi, I think. Someone stuck a fucking massive diamond in his skull. He's got like a $20-odd million. It might not be a diamond, some sort of precious stone that's like in the center of his head. Which I mean, you are a walking target to get robbed. Absolutely.
Well, maybe not robbed, but beheaded.
In the world of what can we do to ourselves for fashion and look cool, I'm surprised that Perspex skulls aren't already a big thing in Hollywood.
That fourth Indiana Jones film ruined the idea, didn't it, really? It was a flop. That might be what they were trying to introduce.
Ha 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 ha. Well, but it's got quite, like, people get Perspex bonnets for their cars, so you can see into the engine of the car. People used to get I used to have the Perspex Game Boy. so you could see the inside of the Game Boy, all the wires and shit.
Game
Yeah,
Boy
man.
Color. Yeah,
Yeah, remember that
Oh, the
shit?
Game Boy Advance. Yeah.
That's the one. So people
Yeah.
like PS2 pads. I remember the Perspex.
See, I would argue though, if you're the sort of person that wants to replace your skull and make it see-through, even though like I don't know what they do with the skin to make the skin see-through, or if it is, but let's imagine the skin becomes see-through as well. But again, if it doesn't, then it adds to my theory even more. If you're doing that to show off what's going on in your brain,
It probably shouldn't be
you've
showed
not
off.
got much going on in
Yeah.
there, innit?
Yeah, it probably shouldn't be shown off.
That's a fucking risk, like very high risk, very, very, very low reward.
Do you reckon the brain fires? You see it firing off about as often as that pitch drop experiment dropped a fucking drop
Every
of
8
pitch.
years. And you always miss it when you go for the selfie.
Oh! I was
I
coming up with
had an idea
Yeah,
5 minutes ago,
I had
but
an
I couldn't find
idea.
my camera.
and then I pulled my phone out, and that stopped us thinking. Oh, fuck! It happens every time. Yeah, I think that's maybe that you've provided a great advert for why we haven't got one, argument for why we haven't got them, but that still doesn't answer why the Kardashians don't yet have Perspex skulls. They're at the forefront.
Would argue
Kanye
they're
West would have
pretty
a
clever.
Perspex skull.
I would argue they're actually pretty clever.
They're very
Like,
clever at business.
Yeah, they're not thick.
They're not thick
One
at
of the
all.
best things you can do marketing wise in it is pretend to be stupid, because it makes you more, well, not stupid, but a little dumb, because it makes you a bit
lovable.
more approachable.
It
And
makes you lovable. Makes
Yeah.
people want to go, oh, but they don't know what they're doing. Yeah, it makes you much less likely to be hated and more likely to be like cuddled up. But
Yeah.
still, why hasn't Kanye West got a Perspex skull?
give it time. Maybe
That's
when he's
another
president.
weird thing. While we're talking about skulls, are really unethical. The whole measuring skulls business. The
What's
experiments
for
that
the
used to be
shape
done.
to see if you would be a criminal when you grow up.
And like dividing it by race, i.e., essentially pretty much just measuring black people's skulls. Yeah, that happened for a while. Back when actually, let's get more. I don't really want to dive into that all.
I
that
thought
much
they
'cause
did
it's
it
a
all
fucking
across the
dark time.
board with people. That one, I didn't know it was.
Measuring skulls. It was eugenics, wasn't it? It was eugenic craniometry. Is it craniometry? Craniometry sounds better, doesn't it? Because it would be cranium.
They both sound cranial metrics, and yeah, it all sounds cool. Sounds probably a lot nicer than what it probably was.
Yeah, you're right about the part where it was to see if people were more likely to be criminals and shit like that. But it was complete fucking absolute pseudoscience, and just essentially it got to not got to a point was it was almost definitely like just used as a propaganda tool.
Well, didn't they used to do it for the people that would be put into fucking, I want to say Victorian workhouses, but I might be wrong. Like, did use them to be like, oh, you've got this sort of shaped part of your face here, and you've got a nose that's like this, so you'll be better going, to the looms, the fucking like style mill, rather than in a factory pressing metal or whatever.
I don't know, but it sounds about backwards enough to be true, yeah, for that time. But this was mainly referring to around World War II and times like that.
Oh shit! I didn't know it was that recent. No.
That happened it was happening in World War II, I believe, but obviously happened for a long time before that. Just fucking stupid science that was only used to sort of try and prove some sort of supremacy to someone of almost exclusively white people.
I would
men.
argue though, by actually doing that, that is a good way to display dominance over a people. If you can convince everybody that that's a plausible thing to do, then you've
yeah, but
already got the dominance necessary. You don't really need to try and be supreme and be like, oh, because these people have a certain shaped head, they're more likely to do X, Y, and Z. If you've already got people eating out the palm of your hand, believing that that's even remotely true,
Yeah, completely.
you don't need to do that experiment or anything.
No, because people are already going to do whatever you tell them to anyway. You don't have to go, oh, here.
Yeah.
We've got the extremely weird and in no way scientifically true science right here for you to see. You can't have the rectangular head. Rectangular head means you are less likely to fit most helmets.
Rectangular head means your mum didn't like you
Yeah.
as a kid.
If you have the head the shape of a Dorito, you're going to find it tough to wear most scarves. because it's not going to protect right.
You're not going to be a hat guy.
No. It's going to have
unless of course, like the points to the top. I'm imagining like the flat bits at the top.
Well, I suppose if the points to the top, you'd have to get a hat that's got like one of those visor ones that's got a hole in the top. But if it's the other way around and you've got the flat part of the triangle at the top, I mean, you're looking at a wide berth hat there.
Or a really comically small fez.
Yeah. Yarmulke. I'm now thinking of a Jewish Dorito. And
if we could get away with it, maybe a T-shirt, possibly.
I'm not careful. I'm not sure the caption we put on it, or the flavour we call it. I mean, it would be matzo ball soup flavour Dorito, wouldn't it? I don't know what else we've got. Schnitzel flavour Dorito. That sounds quite nice, actually. Thinking about schnitzel. Back to experiments, right?
Yeah.
We've done they obviously established there's a load of batshit experiments, and the people who are listening to this are probably going to already be aware of most of them. Which ones would you do for the crack? Because it's clear we've established that most of this is done with no sort of real point. It doesn't seem, and it's all just right. Let's just take some acid and see how stupid we can be for a while.
A lot of the experiments I've looked into all revolve around LSD. Yeah, using that on people and animals.
Well, that was like when we started getting into as advanced we were being scientifically and being like essentially trying to do as much studying as possible and as much experimentation as possible, and drugs had obviously come about or had come to prominence during the war and had been tested during the war, and then they were getting to a point where like, right, well, let's apply these in different scientific situations. Let's see what happens, and let's not care about anyone afterwards and just let them back loose on the world if they make it out alive at all. If not, we'll just lock them away in mental centres or kill them. But which one would you do? What would you like to test for? What could you think?
It'd be interesting to see how long it would take to force bats to be able to see.
Right. You seen how
many bats would you have to breed with each other to make them have eyes?
And feed them all carrots.
What would you have to do to them? Oh, you could do, yeah.
Feed them all. Maybe you could give them all laser eye surgery.
Yeah.
Give a load of them laser eye surgery and then get them to reproduce. But have you seen how a bat pisses? I watched a video the other day, first time I've ever seen how a bat pisses.
Nah, but I saw a picture of a bat's pair of testicles and it's haunted me the other day. I've joined a new group on Facebook, so I thought it'd be good for selling the taxidermy, something called Truffle Puffs or something or other. And it's just pictures of people post pictures of like the cat's testicles and the dog's balls and dog's arseholes. Have you joined some sort of bestiality Facebook group? If it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, but that's how I watched one of the Louis Theroux documentaries on the one where he was doing a documentary. He was covering sex offenders in America that had been released, or ones that were pending release. And one of these old blokes had pictures in his room of it was art. It was like classical art, but it was classical art that was depicting like young boys with nothing on and shit like that. And that's essentially what you're describing. You guys, it's not porn. They were pictures in an entertaining and artistic sense. It's not. Those aren't bollocks. Those aren't normal dogs' bollocks. These bollocks are. Yeah, this is a Marks and Spencer's bestiality Facebook group.
High class. I just did it because I thought it'd be a good way to try and sell me rat testicles and stuff.
Yeah,
they really weren't into it.
Oh right. They like their balls attached to animals with pulses.
Yeah, not disembodied testicles.
I tell you what, mate, they're not understanding the people of today. They just don't get it. They're not forward thinking. They're just not accepting, and I mean, it's the downfall of society. What I want is a pair of rat testicles in every household.
No, I think they'd make trophies.
My campaign, when I run for Prime Minister next election, is rat testing.
Be just as corrupt as the current prime ministers and stuff of the past. Because you can buy all them for the country through me.
I'm far less corrupt than any of the politicians of the past. and that's openly knowing how much of a cunt I've been. I'm still far less corrupt than anyone else. What was it? Yeah, bat pissing. Bats, do you know they hang upside down?
Yeah.
So when they piss, they essentially hang the right way from their little wings and just piss hanging free. And just piss hanging free, and they just like... It looks so... Yeah.
They do it while they're on the fly, though, as well, don't they? Like, because when you go in like a bat house in a zoo...
I just saw a video of some of them doing it in a tree on Reddit, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, yeah. I've been pissed on in a bat house before.
Did you pay?
No. It comes with the ticket.
Did that come free?
Yeah, the first ones are free.
It's like when you get pissed on a butterfly wheel. We've brought up butterfly wheel before in Preston. If you get pissed on in butterfly wheel because you're just in like a massive fucking greenhouse, and butterfly piss has a unique smell.
I'd imagine it smells quite sweet. Wonder if spiders like that piss.
Yeah, I tell you what, maybe that's where they got it from. Maybe they watched spiders. Have I just stopped making any noise? Oh no, I haven't.
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's fine. It just disconnected for a sec. Maybe they saw spiders drinking butterfly piss, and were like, right, well, spiders like butterfly piss, so perhaps they won't like schizophrenic piss.
Well, the way they got there,
it's an obvious logical leap.
Could have been like a monarch butterfly's piss, and they were like, right, the monarch butterfly links with MK Ultra, which links with people's brains, which could link with schizophrenia. Let's feed it to spiders.
That is how I imagine. Like when I was a kid, I imagined scientists to be, and to some extent with some I still do, but I imagine scientists to be like the leaders of like the intelligence world and be like at the forefront of basically saving the world and taking the world to its next level. And then as I've grown up and the more that I've read about and the weirder studies I've read about, I've gone, hey, like these people haven't got a fucking clue, you know. I know nothing about, like, I was decent at science when I was younger. I still follow science now, otherwise we wouldn't be doing a show like this. But I know nothing in comparison with most of the all of the scientists, I'm going to say all of the scientists I've read about, and I still think that I read 60% of their shit and going, I wouldn't have done that. Why have you done that? How strong was the weed you were smoking when you came up with this idea?
I've just introduced my missus to the Dolphin House documentary, and that is a fucking cracking example of what you're on about, because none of that makes any sense.
Not at all.
None of it. And when you follow his logic as well, even if you just focus on what he's saying, the guy that ran it, and if you disregard all the LSD, weird time in the chamber speaking to echo the three ghosts of dolphins,
the IV drips of ketamine in a sensory deprivation tank. What could go wrong with that?
Disregard them and just take his narrative of it. Still don't make any sense. And introducing the drugs to it and thinking, he was on drugs when it came over it, that doesn't explain it, because I know loads of people, well, I've known loads of people that fucking take drugs regularly. None of them stick themselves in a bath of salt water and believe they're talking to three dolphin ghosts from another from further out in the universe.
But even if they did, if they say you had a friend that started just doing exactly that, going, right, I've been going down the local spa, I've gone in the sensory deprivation tank a few times, been sniffing like heavy grams of ketamine when I've been in there, and I've got this forward sight, and I've connected to the other world that's essentially the council of all the other galaxies, and we communicate with them, but we can only communicate in this state of mind when you're on it, via clicks and whistles in this state of mind when you're heavily under the influence of ketamine in a sensory deprivation tank, and you go, right, that sounds good. And then he's like, so do you want to come to this island and help and wank off this dolphin for us while I do that? Yes, I'll make no problem.
That wasn't even part of the science. The wanking him off wasn't even part of the science. That's what I mean by if you disregard the weird shit. Like, that was because they wanted to do, the woman and a bloke there wanted to kind of feel closer to them to get them to trust them, because they thought they were going through puberty at the time.
It was initially the woman.
They were wanking off a dolphin 3 times a day. And they were saying, the dolphin seems to cheer up.
She loved that dolphin.
Yeah, yeah.
in
Well,
ways
so did the
that
guy that wanted to sneak in on a Saturday morning, but he decided against it, just in case he was found on Monday morning by his co-workers, dead and defiled by a dolphin.
yeah, he didn't want to be raped by a dolphin, did he? But he wanted to shag
Nobody
the
wanted to
dolphin.
fuck it though. Yeah,
I mean,
fucking weird.
I think we already discussed this documentary on a previous episode.
Have we?
But
Oh, fuck me.
it's all right. It's something that I'll bring up for the next 20 odd because it's fantastic.
It is. It is.
And the fact that it influenced, I knew about that bloke from the game Echo the Dolphin. That it was the first ever game I played on Sega Mega Drive, and it took ages to get past the first level because it never told you what you had to do. All you had to do was dive to the bottom of the sea and then jump up and do a double jump, and you ended up going in like this cyclone or hurricane, whatever, and getting whisked away. But it never told you what to do. So it took me fucking weeks to work that shit out. But I played Echo the Dolphin for years, and then I found out about him through it when I was a young teenager. And it was just by chance from looking up the game, because I was like, that game was weird, it never made sense. So I looked into it and thought, right, this is why it fucking doesn't make sense. And then a few years later, when I was at university, they brought out a Vice documentary on him. The documentary was on ketamine, but it revolved around two figures, and he was one of the figures. And there was another one who was a notable, old bloke scientist who's said he's dedicated his life to research. What he means is he's become a ketamine addict.
This guy said you don't understand addiction. You do not understand addiction. Addiction isn't having to take a drug every day. It's actually science, because you do science, it becomes an obsession and a compulsion. And that obsession and compulsion is I am obsessive and compulsive about taking ketamine.
Yeah.
You're like, but that's an addiction, bro. That's just an addiction the long way around.
From having a taste for things in the past, I can tell you right now that there was at no point that, even in my wildest delusions, sometimes I passed it off as inspiration for trying to write and stuff like that, and for music. Sometimes I passed it off as therapy. Sometimes I passed it off as killing boredom. I never passed it off as science. No one ever asked us how you're doing. I was like, you know what I'm doing? I'm researching. I'm pushing the limits to see.
Tonight.
Yeah. I am doing chemistry all day, every day. You don't understand. It's serious business. Just you wouldn't get it. No,
I like the idea though. Imagine if that documentary, imagine that got saw by fucking not Charlie Dimmock.
What, from fucking
Lawrence
Garden
Llewellyn
Force?
Bowen or fucking
Yeah, do you know he had
Linda Barker? And
Right,
they're like,
go
what
on.
did you want? Why do you want your house decorating, for your neighbour on your fucking changing rooms in the 90s? And like, well, she loves dolphins. Like, oh, I've got a brilliant idea. We're on an oxbow lake, as it is, an oxbow river. Fucking, we'll knock that wall through, and we'll knock that wall through. Flood it with salt water.
Yep.
Fill it with salt water, and bring in that fucking porpoise that we found on the beach.
That's what you've always wanted, isn't it? Hey, we've set up a red room. It's got fucking paddles, harnesses. You've got fucking dolphin dildos, all that shit. You and that porpoise. The end of time. Have a fucking. I was going to say have a whale of a time, but it's a porpoise. You could expand it if you want, but I reckon a whale would be for the chubby chasers of the aquatic wanking world.
Gratuitous.
Yeah, the ones who appreciate the larger ladies in life. You maybe get yourself a. You couldn't. I mean,
an orca.
I was going to say you couldn't. Wait, you couldn't handle something that big. What's it? We want a smaller whale.
Pilot whale.
But
a pilot whale.
Good start. Good start. Yeah, something.
Vercoise. If you want something a bit rare, something exotic, you go for a vercoise. One of the rarest whales.
If you are going to start masturbating a whale, you don't want to go standard, do you? You don't want to have what everyone else could have. You definitely want the exotic.
Well, you wouldn't want to go for an average whale either, would you? Because you can't really. How would you toss off an average whale? Because they're fucking massive. You'd want you'd want the smaller variety.
And let's be honest, right? It's quite shallow and vain of you to go into a situation like this thinking you can pleasure such a large whale. Thinking a whale's going to get a kick from you, like when that was that woman and the dolphin. Let's be fair, the woman, when she was younger, looking pretty sound, she was looking pretty tidy, right? She was an attractive looking lady. At that time, that dolphin comes in. He goes, "Do you know what? She's always about, like when you sort of fancied your teacher at school. That dolphin basically got to shag his teacher. which is what...
Well, he literally did.
That's what I mean. He got to
Yeah.
shag his teacher, which he achieved an aim that like every school kid's had at probably some point in their life. They've wanted to shag one of their school teachers. He got to do it. But if you're just doing this and you want to impress a whale, like what have you got to show off to that whale? You can't go to a blue whale.
Tits.
Oh,
Tits. If you've got tits, whales don't have tits. So you could be like, look at these.
I reckon you've got to be pretty vain to think you've got something that a blue whale would come to.
Legs.
I don't think it's enough. I don't think they're big enough. I think humans are too small. I think they'd be like, nah, sorry. I need my masturbatory toys to be at least 9 feet tall.
Maybe one of the best ways to coerce a whale into a loving romantic relationship then is definitely through coercion and sort of block the blowhole with something that only you can remove.
I think you've come to a point. I don't think we have to go as necessary as you have, which is essentially manipulating a whale into some sort of relationship.
Coercion.
gaslighting, manipulation, abuse, essentially. What I was thinking was more in the dolphin story. She didn't really wine and dine that fucking dolphin. She taught it for a bit and then fucking gave it wanked it off.
Noises.
Yeah. Don't speak dolphin. What?
And they didn't even call it dolphinese. They called it to make it sound more realistic. They called it delphinese.
Yeah, no, that sounded fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It also sounds
Everything
like the
about
language.
It
sounds like the language that Belle Delphine would speak. Which makes me think that dolphin should have sold its bathwater. He could have made a fucking killing.
He had a lot of it.
But she never wined and dined that dolphin. I reckon if you're going to try and pull a whale, you've got to do you've got to put in the leg work, literally, because like you said, they haven't got legs. But you've got to take it to the cinema on the first date. You've got to show it Free Willy. You don't want
to get its hopes up. Fucking hell. You don't want to make it think it could escape.
You got to take it to SeaWorld. Get it to mock the whale that it obviously hates because
no, but you don't not to mock the whale, man. You're missing opportunities here. You take it to SeaWorld to show it what life it could have.
You could be fed.
You better fucking behave. Otherwise, you'll be getting fed mackerel at SeaWorld rather than getting fed handfuls of fucking krill in our living room. Now, come here. I've put the big glove on tonight.
I've dived in the large tube. I was more thinking you were it was going to be someone wanking off a massive whale. Because that's another point. Like, she's got 2 hands. You can please a dolphin. If you've got 2 hands, you've seen the size of whale penises. They're packing. Yeah. I think it's safe to say they're packing heat.
It'd be kind of similar to that TV show that used to be on Channel 5 every now and then, where you got to keep their hand on a van.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I think it'd be like that. I think that would be and maybe they could televise it. It sounds like something Channel 5 might even go for.
Yeah, I mean, Netflix would definitely they'd commission it for 3 series, no problem, no questions asked. Right, I've got you ring up Netflix. Netflix, I've got a new pitch for you. All right, what is it? It's
Seaspiracy.
It's a dating program. It's a dating program. All right, we love dating programs. What's involved? Right, so the main character's a blue whale. Right, and we've got 10 celebrities. We've invited 10 celebrities. Dating program. They're all going to wine and dine the blue whale. And at the end of the 2 weeks, they're going to spend all in water. We've got a lot of oxygen tanks. We're going to keep them all underwater the entire time. Little underwater houses, little underwater sleeping bags for them. I don't know how that will work, but we'll work it out. And they're all going to wine and dine the whale. And at the end, the whale gets to choose a partner. And we're going to film it like Love Island, so you get to see all the steamy bits, get to see them feeding oysters to each other. I have an oyster, you have some krill. I have an oyster, you have some more krill. And what celebrities would be there? I reckon
you'd have to go from A to Z, wouldn't you, of the list to give it a bit of a spectrum.
Jason Statham,
Les Dennis. I want Les Dennis on there.
All right, this is how we're going to go 5 each. Right, okay. Jason Statham, Les Dennis. Second. Who do we? Davina McCall. She always presents, but she's never involved. I'd watch Davina McCall wank off a blue whale.
Yeah, it'd be nice to involve her. Let her feel
go on.
part of the team.
Go on.
Oh, if we're going that way, then for presenters, give fucking Dermot O'Leary a go.
Yeah, yes, I would like to see him rejected by a blue whale. I would like
We
to
could
see
call the
him.
program, possibly call the program Bachelor Wet.
You should stay on tramadol, mate. It's fucking sound. It works for you. Yeah, I'd like to see Dermot O'Leary really try hard with the blue whale and actually become very emotionally invested in it, only for it to reject him at the last minute. For the whale to be doing its speech at the end to be like, oh, and the person I've been with this week, they've shown me a lot of time and I found them really sensitive and they're really attractive and I find them funny and they care and I can see ourselves together. And Dermot actually thinks it's him and he's buzzing, and then they announce someone else and he's fucking
Wiping a
cries.
tear away.
Who
As
else
Michael
would we have?
Barrymore takes prime position in the competition.
Is that your third pick?
I think I would. I think I would
All
go
right.
for Mr.
For my-
Barrymore. He's just had everything's just gone all right for him, sort of thing in the news and that. So it could be his re-entrance into entertainment.
All right, well, we're going for people that have had a good time in the news. My third pick would be Chris D'Elia.
Who's that?
Chris D'Elia, the comedian who's currently facing charges over messaging underage girls on Snapchat and shit. He'd be great. He'd be great. He clearly doesn't care what he chats up and what he sends pictures to and asks to shag him, so why not a blue whale?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's pick on someone your own size, Chris D'Elia. Let's pick on something actually about 70, 80 times bigger than you.
Let's have something that's intimidating to you.
Let's
Something
pick on
you feel you can't say no to.
Yeah, let's have a whale Snapchat you pictures of its dick.
He's the first whale on TV. Oh, he wants me. Yeah,
Do you want to come back to me tank?
I'll come back to my reef.
Number 4, go.
Number 4. I feel like I should pick a woman.
Yeah, we haven't done that.
Let's have Mel C.
She'd be game. She'd be proper game, and she wouldn't let the whale.
I don't think she'd be into it for the whale, but I think she'd be into it for the competition.
She'd be into it for the crack,
and she'd do it for the comedy.
She'd put the whale in its place more than one occasion. That whale would get handsy a couple of times, or finny, I don't know, a few times where they'd try a cop a feel of a boob and that, and she'd slap that whale and give it some proper mank language.
That's what you'd want. You want someone who's going to stand the ground.
I think you're right.
Who else would you go for?
If we're 4th pick now, who do I think would be? I'm just now. If we're down to the last 2 each, I'm thinking of people that could actually blossom some sort of fruitful relationship with a whale.
It feels like risky territory.
Does it?
I
would go. I don't know. I mean, I'm not giving Attenborough what he wants because Attenborough wants it. Attenborough would love to date that whale.
I think he'd be vehemently against the idea.
There's nothing he wants to do more than shag all the wildlife that he sees. That voice is so smooth in every documentary because he's masturbating. Have you ever had a phone call from someone that's wanking while they're on the phone? They always sound quite smooth.
No,
That's when everyone if you ever want to put on your best Attenborough voice, talk about nature while you're wanking. Swear down.
Just angle the camera up a little bit.
I'm not giving Attenborough what he wants. Dean Gaffney.
Dean Gaffney.
Yeah, I feel Dean Gaffney. He, essentially, because I think he's a realistic target. I reckon if you did pitch this idea to Dean Gaffney, you'd go, well, have you got, I want at least 20 grand, and you go 12. He goes, all right then.
Can I have a rider of a multi-pack of Snickers?
Fuck off, Dean.
You're a Lion Bar, like everyone else.
Right, last pick for you. Who could go for?
Oh, I think I want to see him on TV a lot more, and it's only for that reason. It's got nothing to do with the whale, nothing to do with the programme, really. And I feel like that's not quite in keeping with what we're doing. So I'll give him a miss.
Come on, we may as well say it now.
Well, all right, well, I Bruce Jones.
Who
Big
fucks
fan.
Bruce Jones?
He played Les Battersby in Coronation Street.
Mate, he was selling flossies in Sunderland Market for fucking ages.
Was he?
Flossies were like the silly shoe fad that went around for a while. And he had a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
And didn't get rid of them. This either was true or something we made up to someone on a session one night that then we told everyone in Sunderland to the point where we made people believe it was true. And the thing is, it's been 10 years now. I'm not entirely sure myself whether it's true or not, but he did live in Sunderland for a while, which was either the truth behind it or the basis of the entire story we made up and then told people. Either of which could be true because they both sound likely at the time.
Fair.
But
Well, yeah, I think he'd be.
Les Battersby would do it. I'm going to go final pick.
We've got quite an array of stars here.
We do.
I'd argue no real like Hollywood stars though.
All right, so we'll end with a Hollywood star. Let's go Harvey Weinstein.
Oh.
No,
Wow.
we can't have Harvey Weinstein. I wouldn't do that to the fucking whale.
He's not really in work.
I wouldn't do that to the whale. Who would be entertained? Who would have a laugh with it? Who would have like a jest with it? Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey. Why didn't we think of that beforehand? Yeah. Jim Carrey whale would be in hysterics. Because the thing is about Jim Carrey, like, he's not funny in what he says. He's funny for being Jim Carrey, so his comedy translates to whale song because it's nonsensical in English, so it's fine in whale song. So he can be funny with the whale, and the whale will get his gestures and be like, "Haha, that's funny. This man makes jokes." He'll do impressions. He'll move around funny in the water and maybe frisky, like pull his hair up a bit to resemble some sort of quiff, and that whale will fall for Jim Carrey. And as we know, Jim Carrey is very much on the verge of absolutely batshit mental. So I can see him forming like a mutual relationship with the whale. And actually, I can see that blossoming like behind closed doors after the show ends. I can see that continuing.
Which is nice.
Afterwards.
I mean, that's quite a positive outcome for the show, rather than it just being, like a fucking ridiculous, silly cash grab on our part.
No, I can see that. I can see people thinking that from the start when we've got the whale rejecting Dermot O'Leary, Mel C slapping the whale, which will obviously have Peter on the phone. They'll be ringing, going, "What the fuck? Someone slapping a whale." You should have killed this
whale years ago.
Yeah. You should have stabbed that. You should have saved it from a life of torture by killing it then, as a child. Yeah, you'd have Peter on the phone, and then we'll be like, "Well, have you seen the size of Mel C compared to a fucking whale?" Wait there. That's a comment that someone made. That someone being John McAfee, I believe. Didn't he want to shag a shark or something? And
is that a man that wears a nappy?
John McAfee's the bloke who invented McAfee and antivirus software. Yeah,
definitely
the absolute mental bastard who was on the run for like suspected murder and shit like that. Like he's a very, he's a very interesting figure to look into. But McAfee,
I thought it was the horse racing pundit.
McAfee shark sex. Boasting about they were essentially, I don't know if it was a shark or a whale. I'm sure it was one of the two. And his argument was, said he wanted to shag one, and people said it was out of order. And he went, "Look, there's no way you're shagging shark/whale without its consent. So if you do manage to shag a shark or a whale, you better believe it's consensual." Because that thing's a massive killer machine and you're in its territory. Yeah. And that is although I don't agree with BCI, it's a very logical argument. Like if you can shag an apex predator that isn't in some way inebriated or intoxicated or anaesthetised, then fair play, because that has let you do it. If you have gone out of
your way to anaesthetise an animal in order to rape it, then you are fucked beyond belief.
Yes,
because that's like premeditation to a different,
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here's the exact tweet from John McAfee. I've been trying to find it because it's fucking brilliant. So he's talking about, but he's posted a video on the Justice Department, automobiles, bank robberies, the mob, consensual sex with whales and privacy, ready to wake the fuck up, America. Someone replied, "Interested in whale sex? How is it consensual?" And John McAfee, considering he's a probable murderer or a possible murderer, a definite lover of drugs in his past and other weird shit, this reply is phenomenal. A humpback whale weighs 70,000 pounds, is 50 feet long, can dive more than a quarter mile and can crush ships with a single swipe of its tail. If a human manages to fuck one, you damn well better believe it's consensual. Yeah. That's unbelievable.
It is, and it seems quite true. Easy to believe as well. And I reckon the whale would probably do it for a laugh. In the same way that posh kids do at uni with like pigs and cows and that, and sheep. That sort of mentality of posh people.
Yeah. I mean, that was that. I did that at uni, but not because I'm posh. Like, I just
Just a-
slept with
a trick-
people
a
that kill
tricky
time
night.
and for the crack.
Oh, I
Like,
thought you meant like barnyard animals.
no. Never managed to get my hands on them. They're way too fast.
Yeah. You need one of them, them sticks that they use to get crocodiles out of ponds.
Yes.
The stick with the loop on. You
Yeah,
need
I've seen one of them.
What you need. And that'll be the next bit of merch, guys.
Yeah,
Truth-seeking poles with a noose.
Truth-seeking bestiality polls. Get yours now on Redbubble. Speaking of which, there's going to be a link going up in like the next 24 hours or something that will be getting shared all over the place to a fucking T-shirt. I know no one's going to buy it, but at least think about it. At least don't. If you're not going to buy it, share it to other people. Tell them it's really good and tell them to buy it, and let them carry on that share, and it will essentially we'll build some sort of multi-level marketing scheme, but no one actually makes any money, and we all just share the stuff to people and get them to share it, and no one makes anything. But that's my life, so I'm willing to invest time and effort, like we said at the start of the program, into things that don't matter. I will make a multi-level marketing scheme, but when no one makes any money, including us at the top, because that's an ethical MLM. You got any parting words before we hand over to Chode?
No. Do you?
I mean, one thing I've learned from this is spiders don't like piss.
No, they don't.
And I think that's...
Wait, I'm just going to check if I've got... No, I've gone through my little list of 3
Did we
things
have a
I had.
list? Did you wait
I
there?
did.
You had to check a list of 3 things to see if you'd been through those 3 things.
As I explained at the start of the show, I have toothache, and I'm trying to deal with the toothache.
As I explained at the start of the show, I'm smacked off my tits. I haven't got a fucking clue what's been going on for the last hour. And we're out.